All right. Well, it looks like we're live now. Podcasting with G.REED, Antonio Comer. Antonio is not feeling very good. He's got some problem. He's got a few. He drank something and didn't make him feel very good. So, well, before we start the show, I actually want to show you guys something that I got made for this actually. So, all right, let's see.
What do you got there?
Well, I actually decided to make a couple T-shirts. So one for me and one for Antonio. Antonio, you're gonna love this, bro. You're gonna love this.
Planning on wearing from school?
Wear
from school. That's promotion right there.
Wear him to school? Yeah.
You gotta wear him to school.
I'm planning on. All right. Well, here we go. All right. Well, here's the front. It's probably backwards, but still, that's his name, Antonio, right there. And on the back, all right, there's a symbol podcast tonight. It's got the Twitter on the bottom, which is pretty cool.
You gotta wear him to school.
We will. So this is what it looks like. Here's his. He wears large, and I wear.
Sorry, guys. I keep looking off to the side.
There's
NFL
football.
Recap, the classics where they show classic games, and they're showing the AFC conference game between the Packers or between the Colts and the Patriots. I can't remember what year it is. All I know is Peyton Manning was in it.
All right, well, here's my shirt. I made a shirt for myself as well. All right, it says Grant right there in the front, and on the back it says same thing, except it's got my Twitter in the bottom, which is pretty cool. So
I want to see this.
I actually got it made over at.
Go ahead and do this.
I got it made over at a store called Locker Room. It's over in a town called Spring Valley, Illinois. What's that?
I'm going to Locker Room tomorrow.
What's at the Locker Room for you?
We're doing our Revolution Princeton prep shirts. We're going to see how much it costs over there. We went over to where's that? We went over to Kiwani to G.REED Loves there. We did that, and then found out a price there. Good price for what we want because we want 4 shirts made. But we got that, and we're going to go over to the Locker Room, see how much it costs over there.
Right.
To have theirs because it's the same place. It's the same type of business.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we're gonna go over there and see what they got done.
But the lettering actually, if you didn't realize this, the lettering on the shirt is actually like a stitching lettering.
That's exactly what we're gonna do, except ours is gonna be jersey.
Yeah. I actually liked it. When I thought of putting the names like right on here, with his name. I thought of this because if you ever notice, most companies, when they ever have like their symbol or something, they have their names like right here, which is really cool. And I thought, hey, you know what? Since we have our show, I thought, well, how about I
wear them to school on the same day?
Or actually, we will, and we'll wear them on different days. It doesn't matter. I mean,
no. You guys, if you guys are planning on doing your shows, do like a special for your show. Like, hey, we're just gonna do it on this day. Wear it to school and say, hey, we're doing a podcast tonight. Make sure to tune in. You need to do promotions. You want to.
Well, I mean, I asked people at school to watch the show, and I got a Facebook page, and I got like about 20 likes on it.
But I'm just saying,
guys,
if you really think you can do this, which I do, he's just got to put more effort into it. As far as trying to get.
But like
done.
when I did this in the back, I mean, that just looks sick, doesn't it? Doesn't that look awesome on the back? How that looks?
Yeah, I could do better.
Dude, hey, at least I'm actually trying to do a promotion.
White shirt. You should have done a different color.
No, I couldn't do it. I wanted to do black, but the thing was they couldn't do black because it didn't work. But hey, white's better than black. You can see it. So set that over there. Actually, I got like a bag for it.
You had to go and buy the same DVD I had.
Which DVD is that?
He bought Laugh Out Loud 3-pack of.
Can you grab it?
Adam Sandler.
No,
not Adam Sandler. Will Ferrell. He decided to buy this. I bought that for Christmas.
Yeah, I bought it for some Christmas money myself.
Nights, Step Brothers and the other guys.
I watched Holiday Nights the other day. It's pretty hilarious. So Will Ferrell, everybody. Oh my gosh. Put that back down there if you want. Well, I came to ask you some questions. So you're doing a thing called Maximum Wrestling about 2016. I think that's what you said, right?
If you guys have if you guys are friends for me on Facebook, you guys noticed I didn't invite everybody, but I invited the people who I know would actually take a look at it. We haven't really done much to it. I don't know if he can show you right now or show you later, but we've been doing Maximum Wrestling is going to be the name of our federation or company, as you guys call it, or some of us can call it. Like I said, I don't know if he can show you right now social pictures. Our group, per se, is more of. I've always been fascinated, even in high school. I know some of you guys go to school. Mr. Tin Man, Mr. Tinley. I couldn't remember. It's been so long since I've been in school. I know he did U.S. history, but I've always been fascinated with the Roman medieval times type of, not medieval times because that's farther back, but more. I've been a fan of like the Romans, Spartans. I've always been fans, like even including the movies 300 or 300 Rise of an Empire. I've always been fans of that time period. I don't know why. I think it's just I'm not much of an art person, but the architectural designs that they've made, of course, their main thing, the Colosseum, their battleground for gladiators. I don't know what it is about it, but I've always been fascinated with the Romans and their designs and, just the time period and everything that was going on. I don't know what it is, but our group, Maximum Wrestling, is going to I don't know how to say it. What do you say? Incorporate? I guess.
Corporation?
No, not corporation, but we're going to put some type of, I don't know how to say it, guys. We're going to put some type of, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just wasting time doing this. But
it's all right. Take your time.
I'm just trying to come up with the words.
We're
gonna put the time period the Roman Empire, and that time period in that area of Italy. We're gonna try and put some type of feel into our the way we run things.
Mm-hmm. So like
our titles, I actually got to know a guy. It's called Rise Championship Design. He does make title belts. He does a lot of cool things with them. He does more so backyard championship belts. So they're not the how do you say it? They're not professional, but he does a professional job as much as the best he can. He does a professional job of it, and I gave him my design. If you guys will hopefully see a picture of it, or if Grant shows a picture of it. But I did make a championship design on the page, and I think you guys saw it. There's a few editing was done to that, so what you saw is not the final product of this is what he's going to go from. But we did make a few. I talked to him, did make a few changes, and he's got that going for me right now. But he is making a championship belt, world championship belt for Maximum Wrestling. And in most companies, like there's a Ohio Wrestling championship design. There's a whole bunch. Wildcat, I think, is.
You ever heard of OVW?
No, not it's not a company. It is a company, but it's a company that makes.
Well, I'm saying about OVW though.
They sell championships that are from the past, and they also make championships if you give them a design. But on those websites, they charge like $450 to $900 just for one title. But those people who make those are the type of people who make them for like WWE or TNA or those type of companies.
Right.
This guy makes title belts specifically for
backyard style.
Backyard. But I gave him my design and everything. I told him exactly how I wanted it, colors and everything. So so I'm hoping, after he's done, and you guys, I told you guys I was going to keep you updated on pictures. I'm hoping to get some pictures tonight, maybe.
Hopefully I can show him somehow. That'd be great.
Hopefully get some pictures. But I should be getting, even though the wrestling organization isn't starting until 2016. I don't know the date yet on that. I do know, if you guys saw on there, I do plan on having a show called Independence Day Bash, and that'll be on July 2nd of 2016.
Well, lucky for me, I'll be graduated.
We will be doing a show beforehand for that, but it is going to be. I'm excited. I'm excited to get it started. You know, I've done a few things already with writing stuff out. You know, it's like I said, you know, most people are going, "What are you doing? Why are you writing out the show now?" It's like, well, I'm writing out what I think should be done. I'm writing out how things are going to be done. The company, I've already had tons of guys from Revolution Wrestling already asked me, "Hey, can we compete in it?" And I told him, yeah, but I also told him that I'm going to do things a certain way. When it comes to this thing, I have certain regulations and rules that need to be applied when they're going to be doing it. But I also need people to help out as far as certain things. Like I need people to help train, because I know some of the guys that I work with. I know you told you before, Mike Manahan, Kyle Manahan. I already got asked by Mike. Mike wants to do it too. I told him, okay, I can allow him to do it, but I do need trainers. I need someone to help me. I need someone to help train people if they're going to come in.
Right.
I told him I'm gonna wrestle in it, but at the same time, I'm also going to be running it. So,
what I wanted to tell you was, like, what do you need help with, like security things, like.
Well, I do have one of the regulations is no one is allowed to wrestle under the age of 18, due to the fact is liability. There is no contracts. This is free to join. It's not like a regular wrestling organization where you have to go in. You have to pay money to train to wrestle.
Right.
So with me, I didn't have to pay money to train to wrestle. I got in there and I trained. And, you know, of course I still need training to do it. But at the same time, I had enough training where I could get in there and do something. I could put on a show. I have. But like I said, there is no contract to wrestle. There is an issue. We've had issues before. I don't like to get into it, but my one thing I have is you must be 18 in order to wrestle. You must be 15 or older to referee and to do security. One thing I will need is referees. I know I got a few people that I know who are willing to do refereeing.
I wouldn't mind doing security for you.
You can do security.
I wouldn't mind helping out with security. I mean, I can.
I just need help also with a few other things. I'm putting all my money, or most of my money, and another friend, all into this to do this promotion.
Your buddy D-Row.
The one thing I really hope is someone who, I know this sounds like I'm needy, but I'm hoping other people who are wanting to help out with this are willing to put their own money into it and help me out. You know, like a few things that I'm going to need. You know, I said before when you did an interview with me that I don't even know if you call this an interview.
Well, it's part interview, part live show, pretty much.
But some camera work, audio system, helping out with music as far as maybe editing, maybe video editing, because I know with Revolution Wrestling, what I've seen them do, I'd like that. I like people to do some video editing. I have one person that I know of, she knows who she is, who can do some designs for me, because I'm looking for people to do designs, because the one thing about Revolution Wrestling is the fact that you need to be able to do
what?
Have more people. How do you say it? You need to promote it more. I plan on going to WZOE here in Princeton, Illinois, to try and promote the show. My very first show that we're going to be doing. I'm going to promote the Indian.
Actually, speaking of WZOE,
I'm not done yet.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you something here, okay?
Like I said,
it's our first controversial thing here.
WZOE, I'm going to talk to WZOE about possibly getting it set up to where I can, advertise. We're going to do a wrestling show. Come out and see it. Just need someone to promote it. I'm gonna post posters all around the all around town. I know I'm gonna have people on the inside of the school saying, "Hey, there's gonna be a wrestling show. Why don't you guys come out?" But I'm gonna have help with that. It's a matter of I'm just gonna need people to come out and help me out. I will be setting up a meeting later this year for anybody. This is also I already posted before, but anybody who is wanting to join Revolution Wrestling in any way, you must be 15 or older in order to help out, and 18 or older to actually compete. So, and the one thing I am doing is my when it comes to like gimmicks or characters you guys are wanting to do, that is something that you have to talk to me about and to talk to my partner about doing in this thing. So I just hope you guys want to do this. It's something I'm passionate about doing. Maybe not in a pro level, but in a small like indie style level. I want to be able to, hey people, you guys have this. You have Dreamwave Wrestling, which is really really good. Dreamwave is really good. Which, by the way, they're having a show on February 3rd, I think.
Anyone great going to be there?
Not February 3rd. I think February 8th or 9th, whatever the second Saturday in February or the first Saturday in February.
Anyone famous going to be there, like Mick Foley or
Booker T is going to be there. It's called
Really?
Season Premiere. It's the first show of Dreamwave.
Booker T.
They're going to be there. I'm not going to go. But the Dreamwave is around here, and then you have the guys who come in every once in a while. Some of the older guys, older wrestlers that come in, they have their show too. But I'm looking for something that people can go to most of the time. This is going to be a free show.
Free show
for now, though. I do plan on charging down the road. Not a lot.
What, maybe $5?
The money that is going into this will not be going to any wrestlers. I want people to know that. It is going to be people who will, some of the people who are going to be running it, as far as not me per se.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say me because I don't know yet. It all depends on what's going on.
Right.
But the money is going to go towards keeping the upkeep of this company, of this federation.
So, if you have to do updates on stuff,
so it's going to be helping out. Like, hey, we're going to bring new titles in. Well, where are we going to get the titles? Have titles created. But I'm talking as far as if something breaks down or we need something for the show, we're going to buy it with the money we make. But we're also, when we start off, we're going to buy with out of our own pocket. We're going to buy stuff that we do need, or people are going to bring stuff in that they don't like. Hey, you guys can use this for this, and you guys can do this. So we're going to do that.
Hey, before we do something here, do you think we should introduce somebody that someone can say hi to the audience?
Yeah, hold on, guys, 1 second. Come
here, Jason. Come here, bud. Come here.
This right here is the little guy. I know you guys have seen him on his vlog.
This is my son. This is my nephew. I was about to say my son, but
hi,
no.
Jason.
Say hi. Can you say it?
Say hi.
Say hi.
Say hi.
Say hi to my people.
Say hi.
Are you shy? Are you shy?
Right. He's good. Okay, go back and sit down.
Thanks for being on. You just made your first debut.
Hey, go sit back up on the bed. Please sit up on the bed.
All right.
You'll eat in a little bit. Go sit back on the bed.
All right. Well, until we get to that portion. So anyway, well, I want to also tell you guys that Peyton Manning has actually officially retired from.
Is it true now? Did he finally retire?
I think so.
Well, I've been told he hasn't retired. John Elway John Elway did a press conference. I don't know if you guys have watched it. John Elway did a press conference, and he said John Elway told him, don't think about what just happened, because he lost his first game in the playoffs this year against the Colts.
Yeah,
he lost, and he's been he's the oldest player in the league.
That's true.
So he needs to go and back and, John Elway told him, go back, think about, just think about how you feel. Don't think about what just happened. Just go back, take some time to yourself, and then we'll talk later.
Right.
So, but I don't know if he officially retired yet. Don't know until they post something about it.
Well, he has been around the block a few times with football, and I mean he's played for the Colts.
Since '98.
Well, a lot of people started their career back in '98, and
no, not a lot. Not a lot of players.
No, I'm just saying a lot of athletes in general, like superstars back in what they call WWF. A lot of the guys started. A lot of the new names started there. A lot of these new names started back in like NFL. Some of them started making their name stuff at NBA, MLB, whatever you call it. Like Kobe Bryant. Okay, Kobe Bryant's
been playing since right out of high school.
Yeah, and he played during almost to the end of Michael Jordan's career, wasn't it?
Near the end of Michael Jordan's career.
Yeah, and he had a little hair at the time, but that's when he started to make him a name for himself, and then until it happened, back with his whole thing, what happened? They say he did this, did that. That's when his name pretty much spoke out. What'd you just say?
I said the rape.
Hey, I don't know if that's
apparently raped his wife, and during a press conference, you see a huge rock on her finger. That tells you they made up by him giving her money and buying that.
Well,
and then he changed his number.
Well,
I don't like.
He changed his number to what?
It's not the player; it was the number. I just preferred that number.
Did he change his number to like 24 or something?
Changed it to 24.
24.
People speculate that the only reason he changed it to 24 is because of Michael Jordan. He said, "Well, I'm not going to do 23. No one should ever wear the number 23."
Well, someone actually already did, and I hate to say it, but
LeBron is
LeBron James had to take it.
As good as LeBron James is, I still don't think he should have worn 23
because that number should have been retired since back in when he retired.
Just like baseball's number 3 and 42. No one ever wears those numbers because of the people who wore them before them.
Right. That's
the only player that was able to wear 42.
Jackie Robinson.
Mario Rivera from the stupid New York Yankees, because I'm a Red Sox fan. But Mario Rivera was the only player allowed to, due to the fact that he actually talked to the family of Jackie Robinson, and they said they allowed him to wear that number.
That's good. I mean, with baseball, starting with being a very, bardacious of making with MLB making a big, name back itself very long time ago, with having, Babe Ruth play the Babe, playing when he started playing. That's when he was actually playing for the Yankees.
Babe Ruth was an all-around player.
He could hit a home run every hit. You know what I mean?
Babe Ruth could play every single position and be the best at it.
Really?
He played pitcher. He played outfielder. He played a baseman. He played catcher.
He did do all that. Yeah. He also. I read this book when I was about in grade school, when I was about 7th or 8th grade. I read a book called Babe and Me. I don't know if you ever.
That book was not that good.
I thought it was halfway decent. It's about this kid. He gets a card from this really he thinks he's having a magic card. He gets it from this card shop.
Yeah, he goes back in the past.
He goes back in the past.
Actually, don't remember. That was a good book.
When he goes back in the past, meets Babe Ruth, and does this and that. And then there's also another book called Jackie and Me, with the same type of perspective of how it works out, because he goes back.
It's an old book. I used to read it. Another book you guys need to look up. It's called The $1 Million Shot. It's a basketball book, of course, but it's another good book.
What's that one about?
It's about a kid, I guess, wins an award or something like that, and gets an opportunity to shoot $1 million shot.
Well, that sums it up. To me, $1 million shot. I wish I could do that someday, but I always see these people, like people from these random people from the crowd that are probably close to the floor, maybe sometimes up in the upper decker. Sometimes they say, "Sir, you sir, from up there, come on down, come on down."
Randomly choose a seat number.
Yeah, they just say pull the number out of the hat or whatever, however it is people do, and down, whatever wherever your name is, Jim, Johnny, Jack, whatever. But that's what a lot of companies do. Sometimes fans, they just any sport, MLB, WWE, NBA, whatever, they come. Sometimes they're invited down to the court or ring or the field, whatever, and they enjoy themselves. But so anyway, all right. One question that's been egging me a lot is, who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble of this year?
Well, let's see. That was your first question because I wasn't paying attention. Who is going to win the 2015 Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Well, a lot of people keep saying Roman Reigns. Not going to happen. He is not ready. If you have watched his promos, he is not ready to be the main event star.
Not ready?
It's too early in his career. He'll have plenty of time to do it.
Who do you think's going to win it?
I don't know. Let's see. Who do we got here? Daniel Bryan. No, Daniel Bryan will not win the Royal Rumble.
He's going to be in it, though, which is good.
Be in it, but he's not going to win it.
Yeah.
Why? Because he already had his WrestleMania moment.
Sure did.
He doesn't need another world. He doesn't need to be the main event of WrestleMania again. The only person, as long as Vince alive, as long as Vince, not as long as Vince is alive, but as long as Vince McMahon is running things, the only person who's allowed to be in the main event of WrestleMania is John Cena. That's the only person who's allowed to.
They're going to make him win again.
They are going to make, John Cena's not going to be in the main event. They shouldn't make him in the main event again. He needs to, think about his future. He always thinks, oh, I'm always going to be wrestling. No, look at Triple H. Triple H knew exactly what he's doing. He's finally found a role that he can still do and still be part of the show.
Right.
He just doesn't wrestle as much. That's what John Cena needs to do.
Triple H, he is heading up there. He's getting old.
But I think, like I said, Daniel Bryan's not going to win the Royal Rumble. Like I said, Daniel Bryan already had his WrestleMania moment. I can't say his name. Roman Reigns is not going to win the Royal Rumble because he already had his WrestleMania moment.
Oh, that I really
didn't have his WrestleMania moment. He's not. Sorry, guys, I messed up. He has not proven himself enough to be a main eventer. Of course, they already dubbed him the next John Cena. That he's the next John Cena. He's going to be, there's a rumor going around that Roman Reigns is the next person to break CM Punk's title reign because of the fact that CM Punk is gone and they want to get rid of the name CM Punk like they did with Chris Benoit. They don't want anything to do with him. They are going to I'm just going to get this out of the way. They try and get rid of Chris Benoit's name, yet who is in the main event of WrestleMania 30? Daniel Bryan. Who is in the main event of WrestleMania 20? Chris Benoit. What is Chris Benoit's finisher? The cripple crossface.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 30. Daniel Bryan. What is his finisher?
Yes lock.
The
Same
yes
thing.
Lock, which is a variation of what? The crippler crossface.
Yes. Crossface, pretty much.
What type of match was the main event? A triple threat match. What was the main event of WrestleMania 20? A triple threat match.
So pretty much 10 years between.
WrestleMania 30 was won by a tap out. WrestleMania 20 was won
by a tap out.
WrestleMania 20's ending. Aside from Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania's 20 ending was with who? Chris Benoit's son and Chris Benoit's wife. WrestleMania 30, they altered it a little bit, was ending with who in the ring? Daniel Bryan's nephew and Daniel Bryan's sister.
That's what happens.
How are they trying to get rid of Chris Benoit's name when they just did that? Everybody knew who it was. I knew who it was, but at the same time, I also knew it was like, okay, they're trying to get rid of Chris Benoit's name. Then why are they trying to reenact what just happened 10 years earlier?
Exactly.
You know, of course, you know, Daniel Bryan had more fans behind him, like it should have been. But at the same time, you know, it just seemed like the same thing again. But who's going to win the Royal Rumble? I said Roman Reigns is not going to win it because he's not ready. His mic skills suck because he's messed up. The first time he came back at TLC, was it TLC?
Yeah, he came back at TLC. Yeah,
he messed up his lines. Daniel Bryan's not going to win it because he already had his WrestleMania moment. So
he did, and he didn't have to win the Rumble to do it.
No, he didn't win the Rumble.
He didn't win the Rumble, but he still got in because he was in the feud with the Authority, which the Authority are back.
He had his WrestleMania moment. The person winning the Royal Rumble, some people say that Dolph Ziggler and them are going to win it because apparently they're scheduled to be back on Raw on Monday. I don't know who would win it. I really can't think of anybody who would win the Royal Rumble that deserves it. That's still in the company as right now. If I had to choose someone who I wish would win the Royal Rumble, I just can't think of anybody.
You know, for me,
if anybody deserves it, I think Dolph Ziggler deserves to be in the main event of WrestleMania.
He does deserve his WrestleMania moment. I mean,
Ryback eventually will get it.
I'm trying to. You know, someday if they make Dean Ambrose a big star, I could see him winning the Rumble and having him has his own WrestleMania moment, and actually, from his side, have being the United States champion. I could see him actually being the world heavy. If they put both titles, separate again, which I actually like that. You'd have champion versus champion, which I really did like, and then that'd pretty much be the same of being WWE World Heavyweight Champion, as Paul Heyman would say, the heavyweight champion of the world, the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. He is your champion.
What are you even talking about?
That's how Paul Heyman says it about Brock Lesnar, the heavyweight champion of the world, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar's not going to win the Royal Rumble. What are you talking
about? No. I'm not talking about the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about how as Paul Heyman would say it about him, about being WWE with the heavyweight champion, about he puts it in more of a bigger sentence.
I will say, Dean Ambrose not going to win the Royal Rumble. He's not ready, even though a lot of people like him. He's not ready.
He should
Bray
deserve
Wyatt
it.
eventually will. I'm looking forward to, if they do it, is Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. Like they said before it even happened, imagine the promos, imagine the build-up to Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. Wasn't much of a build-up, but they had some really good matches.
It sure did.
I want to see Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, but I want more of a build-up. I want to see constant promos, constant segments between those two. Build it up to where, a lot of people are saying that Bray Wyatt could be the next Undertaker, except not with the WrestleMania streak.
Now, why would they say that?
I guess the way Bray Wyatt is built right now, and how he talks and how his character is, that he could be the next Undertaker. Not as creepy, but as in he's the next person to have that same type of reaction as the Undertaker, except he has more reaction because the light bulbs,
right?
All the camera phones are out.
Well, and they call him his fireflies or
his followers, his fireflies,
fireflies, whatever you call it.
So,
what I also wanted to say was that before that they had a WWE panel thing for when 2K15 was just coming out back in October. They had a panel. They were talking they had Sting. Sting was there, and Sting said that he said to to the crowd, "Do you want to see me versus Undertaker?" And everyone has started going crazy, like, "Oh my God, yeah,
Is
yes!"
possibly changing. A lot of people want to see Undertaker versus
It
Sting
should happen. That
at
made the company.
WrestleMania. A lot of people do because those two are the main. They were the not. I guess you would say the standard bearers because they were so. How do you call it?
They were
so invested in their own companies.
right.
There was no chance of them leaving because they saw, they weren't talking about we're just going to leave and go to this place and screw you guys. No, they were bound to their companies because they knew we're not going to leave you no matter what happens. We're not going to leave you. And that's what they did. They did anything and everything that their boss. I mean, look over the years. I mean, they even talked about it before during the podcast with Stone Cold that Undertaker did anything and everything for Vince McMahon. He stuck with them thick and thin. And then, of course, he had, Vince McMahon had said, you've given everything to me. Now it's time for you. Or I have given you everything. I've done stuff for you. I've given you this. Now it's time to give back. And then, of course, he lost at WrestleMania
against Brock Lesnar. But
and Vince and Sting was the same way. As much as he didn't like how things were running in WCW at times because he was being pushed aside at times.
Right.
He stuck with him. He said, "I'm going to stay with you." Well, this is happening. Okay. All right. We'll just go with it. I'll deal with it type of thing. I'm not going to argue and complain about it, but I'll do what I have to do. So,
and then with Sting going to, TNA with his thing, I mean, he stuck with TNA, from 2000.
As Sting had said when people were like, "Well, what took you so long to come to WWE?" Sting had said during the interview about why it took him so long. He had said he'd made a wrong turn in Georgia, headed to Orlando, Florida. When he said that, everybody realized, okay, yeah, we get it. You went to TNA.
Isn't that where NXT's at from?
NXT
live from
is
too?
From Orlando, Florida, as well. Full Sail University.
I think NXT actually should. They're a show within itself every week, and I think they should make it. They should travel to some places. I mean, like Raw. I mean, some people actually watch NXT. Yeah,
NXT does travel.
Oh, they do.
They travel all over.
But I mean,
travel like WWE, but they still do their shows in one place.
Well, they should do their shows anywhere because
no, they can't because it's how the NXT the way NXT is set up, you can't make that, and you can't just make that out of nowhere. That's right. A certain size arena. They have to make it that way because of the way arena is set up. If they did a bigger show, that'd be nice.
I mean, they could possibly do that, but I mean, like with WWE, I mean, they have their certain size arena, but couldn't they at least try to do something like that to do that in one way or another? They should do that, but I mean, I see why all these these young talented rookies are coming over to WWE at their time, because at their time when they want to make an impact to WWE and their thing, but they got to do it the right time. They got to get enough skills. They got to get enough mic skills, ring skills, anything in general.
Well,
I mean,
a lot of those guys I know for a fact. For one, Hideo Itami, Finn Balor,
yep,
Sami Zayn, Kevin Steen, Adrian Neville. Those guys are going to get called up within the next year.
Yeah.
But the only way right now, the next guy to come up, Adrian Neville. So you got 4 guys left. Adrian Neville's getting called up. From what I hear, though, Vince McMahon wants to ruin his character. He wants to change him to some of you guys, or actually most of you guys probably don't even remember this, the guy from Cartoon Network or anything like that. But Mighty Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say, oh, no. Yeah. Mighty Mouse was a character even before I was born.
Yeah, before I was born, too. Yeah.
Well, of course before you were born. I said before I was born.
Yeah, yeah.
But, there's a character Mighty Mouse. He wants to change Adrian Neville's character like that to Mighty Mouse. But I don't think it'll work. It's like they do with the Ascension. The Ascension's trying to be the next Demolition and Road Warriors, and right now they're not.
Not working out.
They're pushing them like that when they should just make them themselves. Don't try and be someone else. That's the problem.
I mean, you can't have.
You need new, fresh characters. Don't try and make characters based off of other characters from the past. They have done that so many times. Like, for instance, Hulk Hogan. Basically, you Hulk Hogan. Basically, when you look at wrestling style, Hulk Hogan gave birth to John Cena. Like they said before, Hulk Hogan. All they did with John Cena is they just took Hulk Hogan's earwag to hear the fans and put it in front of his face.
Yep.
That's all they did.
He took the hand from his ear brother and put it in front of his face.
That's all they did. And then, of course, you got The Rock. There's nobody that's the off-brand of The Rock. Nobody. Stone Cold. CM Punk, but better. Stone Cold had his own style. He had his own thing. I know he said during one of the interviews that he did for WWE 13 when they were talking about, the game, and then they were talking about the Stone Cold edition. Stone Cold had stated, if you don't get into the WWE to become champion, then what the heck are you doing there? You walk into that. Stone Cold talking about when he got into the WWE, his first thing was, I'm going to be the world champion, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to stomp in everybody's way who gets in my. I'm going to beat down anybody who gets in my way.
That's more like
that's what he did.
That's where they get more stated.
Then
so
of course, CM Punk became a different type of Stone Cold when he did the pipe bomb.
Mm-hmm.
That's
pretty much Punk 316.
Then you got Daniel Bryan. He is the son of Chris Benoit. Or not literally, but you guys know what I mean. He's like Chris Benoit. Same move, does the headbutt. He's like him, except he's basically like him, except he didn't do the leg kick.
No, I didn't do the leg kick.
Chris Benoit wasn't, or what do you say? Daniel Bryan isn't as technical and fast-paced and hard-hitting as Chris Benoit was. Chris Benoit was built, and he had more of a mean streak to him.
Right. Yeah. He had all of that.
Snapmare moves.
Yeah.
Snapped it a lot. Hit harder than what Daniel Bryan does. I'm just trying to think of who else is there. Heck, I don't know if you would consider it. AA Arn Anderson. His son is Triple H.
Seriously?
So many moves of his.
Yeah.
Triple H has a lot of moves from anybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
He took Chris Benoit's crossface before Daniel Bryan started using it a lot.
Yep.
He does the Harley race knee. And when Triple H does the spine buster, he says AA spine buster because that was Arn Anderson's move. AA.
AA spine buster. Even with Triple H, I don't know what to say much about Triple H, but he had that type of, gimmick for himself to where he wanted the crowd to love him and hate him. And at the moment, he hated him, but, I can say that, he can play more of a good guy better than the bad guy. Because
no. Triple H plays a better bad guy than he does a good guy.
How so?
Triple H, you have to watch him You just watch him. He is a better bad guy than a good guy.
And how about HBK? Bad guy too?
HBK is always going to be a good guy, no matter what he acted like. HBK will always be a good guy, no
That's
matter
true.
what he does. I mean, look at his rivalry that he did with Undertaker in 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
You know, that him he super kicked Undertaker during the Elimination Chamber. People weren't boo, they were shocked. They still liked him.
You know, and they set up these rivalries with themselves. They set up all these like, you know, legends, you know, the face. They have legends colliding at WrestleMania and having it to end off for HBK back at WrestleMania 26. Back in Arizona, they had him with his entire gimmick. They thought, hey, you know what? We need to have this happen. This is a good rivalry, and this has happened before, and we need to do this again. So the first time they actually, one match that I do recall that the first time they were both in was the Hell in a Cell match, and Shawn Michaels ended up beating the Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, or actually it was called In Your House at the time. They actually had him beat Undertaker.
House, Bad Blood.
Or Bad Blood, what they call it. When was Bad Blood? I know it was in 03, but like what month to have it in anyway?
Bad Blood was always at the beginning of the year, mid-year. Well, when you consider WWE year is from April to the following April.
Right. Well,
it's not the start of the year to the end of the year. No. WWE does their shows. They build up their year. Hold on one second. Jason, get on the bed. Now. Oh, you come sit over here. One of those two.
You want to be on the show? You want to be on the show, Jason? Come over here, bud.
Now.
Come over here, buddy.
Bed. Bed. Now.
Bed, bud.
One. Sit on the bed.
I'll make sure to cut this out so you can't see it.
Sorry, guys. He doesn't listen. Sit on the bed and watch TV.
Didn't we all not listen when we were about his age?
Yeah, but he's been nothing but a pain the past month, actually.
Well, yeah. I was a pain too. I was more of a pain in the butt than
what were we talking about?
Talk about pay-per-views from like April to April.
Yeah, wrestling's yearly thing is that's like, you know, most shows I know, like for Revolution Wrestling and for Maximum Wrestling, we start at a certain time. Depending on how everything, I don't know exactly yet. It all depends on how everything. I'm going to do 1 year and then take a break and see how well it goes that year. But you go from one show, to the next. I'm watching this too. Wrestling season. From the first show after WrestleMania to WrestleMania that following year, that is 1 year for WWE. They do not start at the beginning of a year.
I keep going. You can do it. Still talk.
So,
you know, and it's also peculiar because, you know, you've got these, you got some of these original guys that are trying to, you know, they make for themselves. And in the pay-per-views, some of these younger talents, they get to the pay-per-view and they think, hey, this guy is going to make it in pro wrestling someday. And when they say to the guy, you know, like they'll say maybe to Adrian Neville when he finally makes his big impact with pro wrestling, they'll say to him, Adrian Neville, we want you to be WWE with heavyweight champion if it's still the title by them. But like you were saying about the pay-per-views, though, some of the pay-per-views that they change the names about every single year. So they're replacing Elimination Chamber.
They're changing Elimination Chamber to Fastlane,
which is dumb.
Reason being because Stephanie McMahon posted on WWE why they're changing the name. She said with the Elimination Chamber itself, they always have most arenas now have a scoreboard above the arena, right in the center where their stuff goes.
Right.
They always have the scoreboard, which they have to watch out for when putting up the chamber, because the chamber is about as tall, if not taller, than what the chamber is about as tall as Hell in a Cell.
That's true.
So when you think about it, you have to incorporate what is this title or what is the Elimination Chamber going to I'm just trying to figure out how are you going to put up a Elimination Chamber when you got a huge scoreboard above the center of the ring?
That's true.
And they said they had a lot of issues with that. So it's all a matter of how they're doing stuff. So
you mind if I tell you something real quick? Me and Antonio have been watching these videos from this guy. They call this guy on YouTube Junior Haha. And I like the reaction to your face
Junior
right there.
Haha.
Yeah, Junior.
Is that like your buddy on Xbox Live that
that Jordan guy?
That Jordan guy who says, okay.
He sounds like Mickey Mouse. Well, I shouldn't say Mickey Mouse, but I shouldn't offend him. I'm trying to think how this works. I used to know this guy named Jordan Xbox Live, and he was a Chicago type guy. He loves CM Punk, all those guys, because every guy in Chicago has got to love CM Punk. The Cubs, the White Sox, Cubs or White Sox. You gotta choose. You can't. You
better choose the Cubs over the White Sox.
Because I mean, they have had the Cubs and the White Sox, and I'm trying to think what field they play in. I'm trying to. What's the field that the Sox play on?
You have Chicago's Wrigley Field, and you have the White Sox U.S. Cellular Field.
Right. I'm trying to think here. When they have both the games, one's going to be a home team. I just don't get. They're both in Chicago, so would it consider to be a home game for both teams?
No, because we're both on different sides of town.
Well,
it's like the New York Yankees and the New York Mets. One's on different side of town.
It's weird because
the only thing that is stupid is NBA with the LA Lakers and the LA Clippers.
They play in the same arena.
In the same arena.
They should do home versus home, and that actually be a good.
It's a matter of just who shows up to that game, who cheers the loudest for which team.
Pretty much, the Lakers have got the score there.
Yes, but it's a matter of the talent.
That's true. I mean, the Lakers have lost some of their great talent. I mean,
they still have Kobe.
Still have Kobe.
So,
I mean, when they have Kobe, on the court. I mean, he is like what, 50-something years old, 40-something already.
Who?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant's like 37.
Really? 37?
Not that old.
It looks like
he is old, but he's not that old.
It looks like he's older than that.
In sports-wise, that's old because you don't consider. I mean, yeah, you got some of these players. When you look at at certain teams, when you look, no, not certain teams, but when you look at sports-wise, certain.
I'm gonna fix your mic here a second, okay?
Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to figure out.
You have certain teams.
Certain teams play for different.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not teams. Sorry, I'm getting off subject.
Scoreboards and.
When you look at sports-wise, a professional sports athlete's career only can span so long,
right?
Because as anybody gets older, your body starts to break down. When in sports, your body breaks down a lot sooner,
right?
Especially basketball. Basketball, your knees give out. That's the main concern in sports. Your knees are your main concern when trying to trying to continue to play.
Right.
Your knees are your main focus.
You know what? The one sport that you can play for the rest of your life is golf.
No, you can't even play golf the rest of your life.
Yeah, you can. If you're that good and you can play
golf. Yes, golf is one of those sports where you can continue playing until a certain age.
You can play until you're dead. That's what they say. Play till you're dead.
Golf is golf is also one of those sports. Like, for instance, Tiger Woods. Golf. He's been playing golf since he was like 3.
Right.
His dad got him into golf, told him to play golf, and he's been playing ever since. The only issue is that's the one issue he's had. He's had problems with his knees and his waist, because swinging that golf club and his knees, all that walking and everything, it takes a toll on you.
It does. I mean, like when you play a sport of I'm trying to think of a sport that really can take you out. Is a sport of baseball can actually have an effect. That can be a sport.
Baseball is also another issue. Your knees, and especially pitchers, your arm. You can't play forever. Your arms are going to give out on you.
They will. I mean, when you got sports like, there, and then there's I'm trying to think. There's football. Football is another sport.
The person who played the longest in the NFL only played 21 years.
Are you really? And who was that?
I don't remember. All I know is Jerry Rice is one of the guys who played the longest in the NFL.
Well, that's a milestone, because a lot of the players that play in NFL probably play at least a good maybe 10 years.
The average retirement age of an NFL player is nearly 10 years.
That's true. That's about a decade is really really enough.
The average age is like 7 years or something like that.
That's
look at WWE. The only person to go as long as they have consistently is John Cena.
That's John.
Like Paul Heyman. I don't like John Cena as much anymore as I used to, but John Cena has been on the top for 10 years, for 10 years. He's been on top of the WWE for 10 years.
That's true.
2005 to 2015. He has been the main guy at the top. Nobody else has been on the top that long. Like they said before, Stone Cold, 4 years at the top?
Probably.
The Rock, 3 years at the top? He spent 3 years at the top of the mountain. No one else has been at the top that long of their career.
Nobody.
Straight. And it's, it takes a toll on them. It takes a toll on anybody who does that.
That can very well be.
John Cena started wrestling in like the 1990s.
About that.
And then he went to WWE.
He went to the WWE, made an impact for himself, and then when he got to WWE, he became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So I mean, congrats to John Cena. And then he made the cover for 2K15, as you know, is on Xbox One, PS4.
Be the cover of 2K15.
Trying to think here. Oh, that made a big echo, didn't it? I'll take that out. Well, you have a lot of these newcomers that are trying to make a name for them. Like I said earlier, they're going to make a name for themselves. They're going to get in the sport, and then when it's time for them to really get moving, they're gonna make up. They're gonna say, "We're gonna push you out to the arena. We're gonna do this and that for you, and we are gonna make sure that you become a champion."
The thing is, the WWE, especially the WWE, has no how do you say it? When it comes to the WWE, yeah, you got your writers and your board of directors and all those people, like saying, hey, we're going to do this for you, or you're going to be this for us, okay? We want you to go out there. You're going to be a good guy or something. It doesn't matter what they say, unless the WWE universe says it first. You know, the WWE universe makes or breaks a superstar. That is the one thing you have to worry about when it comes to wrestling. You either get played off as a good guy or a bad guy. It all depends on who is the one rooting for you.
Who is also the one behind the 1 and 21-1? Not John Cena, but Paul Heyman.
See, the thing about Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman knows talent. That's the great thing about Paul Heyman. When it comes to Paul Heyman, you see anybody. Paul Heyman has seen something in everybody he has managed or has been. When if you have worked for Paul Heyman or have been a Paul Heyman manager, you are considered a Paul Heyman guy.
Let's go down the list, shall we? There's certain guys.
Brock Lesnar.
Yep, Brock Lesnar. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The Undertaker back in WCW when he was known as Mean Mark.
Mean Mark Calloway.
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Every single person from WCW, everybody who has entered there is a Paul Heyman guy. When you're a Paul Heyman guy, you're a Paul Heyman guy for life.
That's true. I mean, a lot of the guys that are made themselves a face now from being a Paul Heyman guy have
Cesaro, Paul Heyman guy.
Yes, Cesaro is one Paul Heyman guy.
The thing about when the night after WrestleMania with that, Paul Heyman came out with Brock Lesnar first, got booed bad because Undertaker lost at WrestleMania. He was booing him because, he was cheering that. Paul Heyman came back out when Cesaro said, I'm not a Zeb Coulter guy. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman got cheered. He is the only man that I can think of who, in a matter of an hour and a half, to come out and get booed, to come back out again and get completely a big pop and cheered for what he did.
You know what the weird thing is right now? It is actually about almost 8 o'clock, and I always plan to do my show for about an hour, and I've been doing this since like almost 6:30. That's about almost an hour and a half right there.
Okay.
So, but I wanted to point that out. Hopefully Antonio, I think he messaged me, said he should be coming on, hopefully. And if not, we'll have him on next week. But anyway, I know you said earlier you want to take a trip to our local radio station, WZOE. Actually, I'm taking a little trip with some classmates to go there and see what they do. It's pretty cool because I want to get into broadcasting someday.
I'm not going to do that until towards the end of the year because I'm actually going to say, hey, I want you guys to, I want to make an announcement that we're doing a meeting. People who want to join, come out and see what we're all about. I mean, we're not going to wrestle or anything. We just, come out. We're going to talk about what we wanted to do with this with the federation. And if people want to join, go right ahead. We'll get you set up, and we'll start training next year.
So what are you going to do about like your ring, your entrance way? How is that going to be planned out?
It's still like, our main focus is getting a ring. We already have a camera guy. Congratulations.
I'm a camera guy.
You're gonna help out the camera. We have a few other people who can do a camera work too.
Okay.
But our main focus is getting a ring, getting a sound. Main focus instantly. Get that ring. That is our main focus. I've actually started on getting the world title.
Yeah.
World title is a main focus. World title is one of the first titles that we do need. But then the ring is the main focus. We need the ring. The ring is coming next year. I've already planned on it. I am not dropping that idea for anything, no matter what it is. That ring comes first.
So where are you going to be planning on doing your first?
It'll be in a yard, probably the backyard. Backyard. I don't know what backyard.
Well,
I know there's a house, a house away to where I live that they have a huge backyard. The house is for sale, but due to the issues that I've heard about that house, I could probably drop it to do rent maybe, or drop the price on it. But that house has a huge backyard, a big enough backyard to put on a show.
True.
Show would be free, of course. My other issue is trying to find a place to store the ring. I know a place we could store it, but it's a matter of his dad cleaning out his garage so we can store it in there.
Where do you think, like in our grandfather's like big garage or
No,
friends
garage. It's a matter of
friends garage? Well, you could that could work out. I mean, whenever a lot of wrestling companies they gotta like with WWE they put it in a big truck and then they go on to the next show. Of course,
it'll be like a U-Haul. We'll put it in big U-Haul, store the ring in there. But it's a matter of where are we going to store it. We could find we know someone that is willing to. I could probably find someone who's got a trailer. I've already got a truck to do it. I've already got someone who can take a truck, but it's a matter of getting a trailer big enough to haul the ring where we need to go.
I'm hoping that one day that since you said I'm going to be a camera guy, I could possibly work that out.
Gonna use your camera.
And I'm going to be using I'm going to hold the record it. Maybe, dude. It's my video camera.
Yeah, it's a matter of can you do it.
I can do it.
You don't just get in there and just do it. You got to be able to do it.
I can do it. It's my video camera, and I can record what I want when I want. So, pipe bomb.
Okay.
So anyway, we also have. Let me see those shirts one more time. I don't. If some people didn't see the shirts, how they want to. Let's see them one more time.
You only need to see one.
Well, let's see. That's Antonio's. Grab mine right there.
You only need to see one.
All right. Well, I actually think these things are pretty amazing. I did a fantastic job. White I would have done black, but hey, you know what?
Is that deep center though?
What?
Is that dead center?
In the middle? Yeah, that's about dead center. Yeah, that's big enough actually for me, and it works out. And actually, like I said earlier, this is all stitching in the front. That's all stitching. So what do you think about that one fight that happened between Jones and Cormier? I think they call him Cormier or something. About? That fight they had in UFC back in.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? Oh, well, they well, anyway, when they had CM Punk with that thing, CM Punk was actually talking about when they had a Q&A with him. They had fans from both side to side talking. Some few people were drunk. That's most likely to happen at one of those things. Punk was thinking he's not sure if he's going to use the Cult of Personality to come out or a different song, but I think Cult of Personality would work for him.
It doesn't matter what song he uses. It's a matter of what can he do in the cage, in the octagon. What can he do in the octagon? I am going to say that I will be watching his first fight.
Yeah.
I really hope he ends up fighting SCF or JCF. I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Or JW. I can't remember, but it's
whatever one works.
Jason Frank. Some of you guys, I don't know if you guys know him, but he was back in the 90s. He was known. He's an MMA fighter, but back in the 90s, he was known as the Green and the White Ranger from Power Rangers, the original Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But he wrestles now in the UFC. He wrestles now in MMA. But he uses Jason the White Ranger. I think it's Jason the White Ranger Frank is his name, as they call him in the UFC, in the octagon. Or not the octagon, but in the MMA. But I hope those two go at it because I know Jason Frank has stated before that he wants to fight. He is willing to fight CM Punk
at any cost
during his debut. That would be a good fight to see. I think they're in somewhat the same weight class. I think maybe CM Punk or Frank. Maybe Frank can lose a few pounds. Maybe CM Punk can gain a few pounds just to get in the same weight class.
Probably
just to see the fight. But that would be nice to see. I think I don't know how well they do because I don't know how his training's going. But
he said he was training for the past 6 months. So that's what he said.
I've heard that he's been doing really extensive training. He's been training for years. It's just he hasn't been training for years to do it. He's just been training for years just to try and incorporate some of the moves into the match. So I'm happy to see what he can do.
I mean, CM Punk.
He's going to debut this year, which if he does it this year, it's going to be at the end of the year because he needs to get more training in. No one guy can go in. Yes, he's been training for years, but he hasn't been training for years. He just started training to actually compete in the UFC last year.
It's true.
So it's a matter of he needs to get so much training in before the end of the year.
Well, I hope CM Punk works out with him, and I hope you work out with your thing with Revolution or not Revolution. Maximum Wrestling in 2016. But yeah, I hope that works out for you, and I will gladly be able to help out with that if you like me to. Anything that you need me to do, I wouldn't mind helping out with a few things. Security, camera guy, I wouldn't mind doing the camera because that's my camera. So,
well, like I said, it's a matter of you have to.
It's
not a matter of you doing it. It's a matter of can you know how to do it.
I know how to.
You do because you don't.
No, I know what I'm doing. Okay, Curtis.
Because you have to do it my way. I am the owner. Darren, who the other guy is also the owner. We are in charge of it, so you have to do it our way.
Well, then I'll follow your way, but it's my video camera. Okay,
it's not a matter of it's
my property.
Camera, but you have to make sure to do it our way.
I'll do it your way, but it's my property. We sound very cheesy. We sound very cheesy right now, so we sound like complete morons right now. As quoted once by Silly Super Pop's father, who passed away. Never do that again on my show right now. You do that ever again, I'm gonna make sure you'll be suspended. You'll never come back to my show ever again. Come on, man. This isn't pro wrestling. Okay? People actually watch this stuff, so
you got one viewer.
So what?
I see one viewer.
Dude, that's my friend, but hey, it's still working on me. I looked on one of my videos before, and it said that I had about 50 views on it. Swear to God.
How many of those were you?
That wasn't all of that was not me.
You do realize when you watch a video, you can get out of it, go back into it, and it gets you another view?
Yeah, but all that was not me. That was people who, from my channel, who have watched it. I got 36 subs. I have just reached over 10,000 views during this part of the year. I have started to get 10,000 views, and I'm going up.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's all done with now. Thank you, Jesus. But anyway, well, it's like we're gonna have to end the show at the moment. Tonio is a little busy. He said he wasn't feeling good. Hope you feel better, bud. I'll make sure to get my shirt to you, and I think you're gonna like the shirt because I know you said that you think that's a great idea. I thought it was a great idea. And oh, by the way, he's actually the guy who came up with the title himself with the name, and I just added my name into it. When I started doing these when I was doing every Thursday, it was actually just called Grant's Thursday Talk.
Okay.
So, why don't you seem very interested in my stuff?
You both got to be here doing it together, not on it.
Well, not everything. Not everyone has got time to do everything at the right time.
You guys are in high school. You guys got time.
We got time, but we got time. We got time to shine.
So.
Well, anyway, guys, thank you for watching this episode of Podcast Tonight with Grant and Tony Coleman. Tony, hope you feel better, bud. And well, there might be a possible chance I might do maybe a show on Sunday night probably because I might do maybe a GTA stream or WWE stream or some kind of thing with him.
I also want to make an announcement.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. For the guys for the people who have actually checked out Revolution Wrestling on YouTube, that's that's youtube.com/FY Wrestling, and have checked it out on Facebook. We are doing our awards show, our 2014 award show. Well, it's 2015, but they're doing an award show for the entire year of what happened in 2014.
Is it going to be live?
They're doing it on YouTube. I don't know if it'll be live or not, but it will be on YouTube. Maybe not. Maybe at the end of maybe Sunday, it'll probably be up on YouTube. Should be.
Either on Sunday or
we're doing.
you guys should make a live. That'd make more sense.
We're doing a YouTube program for the 2014 Revolution Award Show, hosted by Skeeter Moxley, also known as Pete Moxley. But we're doing an award show tomorrow night. Check it out. See who won the awards. If you guys didn't vote, probably didn't vote. Also, make sure to check out Maximum Wrestling for updates and details.
Well, you have a website for that?
I did say you guys can message me. Go to my page. That's Kurt. That's Facebook.com/Curtis.REED. Search for my picture. It's a picture of me from wrestling. But make sure to check that out. And if you guys want to join wrestling in 2016, you have to be two things. You have to be 15 or older, but you have to be 15 or older to be a part of being part of the show. But you have to be 18 or older to actually compete in the show, as far as being a wrestler. So, make sure to join. Make sure to like on the page right now. Also like Revolution Wrestling on Facebook as well.
You guys should create a website. That's what I did for this.
We can create a website.
You can create a website.
We created a Facebook page.
I know, but you can create a website. Actually,
we're not big enough. You know how much you have to buy a website.
Actually, you can create a website. I actually created my website.
We'll talk about it after.
It's called Wix.com. You can create a website there for free.
Well, we'll talk about it after the
Okay, you can create. Podcast. If anyone doesn't know how to, if you want to create a website for free and be able to put it on the internet, it is called Wix.com, Wix.com, and you can create a website there for free. That's how I create all my stuff. If you ever see my stuff on my YouTube channel, there's always a link below, and it's always talking about what I have on the website. And I actually have I got videos, I got social media stuff, I got stuff like bloopers, extras. I got some other stuff that's on that website as well. If my screen share was not, for some reason my screen share doesn't seem like it's working. I don't know. It worked before, and for some reason it doesn't seem like it's working now. But anyway, so you guys can do that there, whatever. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining on this podcast episode on 1/16/15 we have Curtis Reed here. Thanks for being on the show. We appreciate you coming. Yep. You can come back anytime. You actually have also been interviewed before too, so this is your second appearance. Yeah, actually, I know we do. So, well, anyway, guys, we'll see you guys next time for next week on Podcast Tonight on 1/23/15. Isn't that next Friday, 1/23?
I don't know.
Whatever. Well, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys hopefully next Friday night about 6-7 Central. And if we go later, we go later. But we'll see you guys later. And make sure to take care and like his page and like my page, like everyone's page. And we'll see you guys next time.
Revolution Wrestling and Maximum Wrestling. Make sure to check it out.
See you guys later.